There is a tsunami just south of the border. You're a border state person, and it's crazier than ever, right? It's going to get worse and worse. We're being told there are 60,000 people have already massed at our southern border. We're talking about 15 million people crossing the first part of the Biden administration across our border, which is, by the way, a number greater than the number that came in through Ellis Island in 62 years. And the news media is not paying a lot of attention to this.
I think 60,000, and I go, that's just barely a blip compared to what we've been seeing since Joe Biden took office. Millions, I think they're saying 5 million. President Trump says more like 18, 19, 20 million. Who knows? We're not getting the straight scoop from the Biden administration. But this is just day one. And wait until this continues. If you haven't noticed what's happening in Arizona, we know all about it. You will be seeing this come to a street in a neighborhood near you. And it's not just the people. The drugs are pouring across, and this is what happens when you cede control to your country to the drug cartels, and that's exactly what Biden has done.
And it's clearly, I think, by design. From day one, the Biden administration moved to overturn President Trump's policies as it relates to the border, and you see how this is playing out. They've taken no action over 2 years so far. Mayorkas knows very little about the situation going on down there. He doesn't know what the wristbands are that they're receiving that Ted Cruz so eloquently quizzed him on. You have two headlines today: a 17-year-old migrant boy dying in U.S. custody down in Florida. You have another headline in the New York Post: several families moved into a Brooklyn elementary school gym. These migrant families. This is per the New York Post. This is only going to get much worse. The human tidal wave, some reporters are calling it, that we're about to be seeing.
The tsunami.
Yeah.
Hogan?
This is one of the most frustrating things about the Biden administration, something that makes me more angry probably than just about anything else, in large part because Joe Biden pretends as he's a bystander here. Like, this is just happening to me. He doesn't know how to fix it. The White House keeps saying, oh, go to Congress. Well, I got some news for you. In the Trump administration, we actually did it without the help of Congress, and in large measure against what Congress wanted us to do, because we knew it was important for the American people, and it's exactly what they wanted to have happen. And the fact is, every single burglary, homicide, murder, rape is 100% preventable, because those people do not have a right to be in this country. They are here illegally and unlawfully. And until we do something about that, the future of this country is in jeopardy, because, as Kari mentioned, we have drugs pouring into our communities like we've never seen before, human trafficking, child smuggling, horrific stories along that southern border. And you hit on another good point, which is, yes, the Biden administration is incompetent, but this is by design. They know exactly what they're doing, because on day one, they bragged about doing everything opposite than Trump. We're going to overturn everything. And now he says, I don't know how to fix it. We have to have Congress to fix it. You just took out all the mechanisms that solved the problem in the first place. Doing the exact opposite, you're going to get the opposite result.
So, is this the fundamental transformation of America?
So here's the
Barack
thing.
Obama promised?
If Donald Trump was the guy who fixed it, we wouldn't have the problem today. Every administration has failed on this. And this is the point that I've been making for a long time. For the last 3 decades, we've had administration after administration kick the can down the road, and Congress use it as a wedge issue rather than actually going after the problem. Hold on. Can I finish?
Please.
Please. I let everybody else talk. Now, I think what we need, and I was listening to somebody basically saying there's a two-pronged issue here that we have. We need order and compassion. And either administrations have been heavy on the order and not having any compassion, like we saw with the Trump administration and family separation, or they're too heavy on compassion and not necessarily going into the order. But at the end of the day, one of the things that the Biden administration has done is creating more legal pathways in order to get into the country before you get here. And also, one thing that we need to look at is sanction. Some of what we need to look at also is our sanction policy. We know that regime change doesn't happen from sanctioning people to death. We sanctioned Cuba, and it didn't stop the Castro regime.
There are a lot of Cubans flowing across
Let's build the wall.
Right, and that's the point.
Let's build the wall. Let's have some compassion for American citizens.
Let's talk about the $50 million taxpayer dollars we're spending every year to store President Trump's border wall. Why aren't we using that?
And the money to put people up. You know, there's homeless Americans sitting and festering on sidewalks, dying on the sidewalk.
Right.
And we are paying to put these people up in hotels. We're giving them cell phones. We're giving them free airfare. I mean, you want a vacation, go across the border and come back in. You're going to get a free cell phone, and you're going to get a flight to wherever you want to go.
Exactly.
It's outrageous, and it shows you that Joe Biden doesn't care about the American people.
Listen, even on MSDNC this morning, they had a brief moment with Alejandro Mayorkas and Willie Geist where it seemed to make sense for a moment. Doesn't happen very often on MSNBC.
Why has the problem gotten so much worse just in this last year or two?
Well, I would say two things. First, let's not surrender to the fact that we have a broken immigration system. Congress needs to act.
But why is it this last year? Why record crossing? Some have suggested it's because the impression that is out there is that it will be easier under President Biden to cross into the country.
A few factors: poverty, violence, corruption, authoritarian regimes, the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, that's the talking point, of course, that the administration offers every time. It's always somebody else's fault, and it's a much bigger problem, and we can't solve it, and everybody else did it wrong, and we're doing it right, and it's your fault. But honestly, the numbers are in, the results are in. We know that this administration has been a complete and absolute disaster. And that's that.